Everything's bigger in Texas, even their hot dogs. And this is a big series for the Tribe as they try to win just their second three-game series of the season. Game 1 is the first step, and the Indians have not been able to rise up, dropping 10 of 11 series openers. The Rangers have been hobbled by injuries, but they can still score runs, so the Indians will need to bust out the bats early on Sports Time, Ohio. The Indians embark on a 7-game road trip, the first of 3. Tribe and the Rangers right here in Arlington. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. So Batman and Robin were probably the original dynamic duo, but the Cape Crusaders have nothing on Michael Brantley and Jason Kipnis because they've combined to bat over 400 so far in the month of May. They've played in every game, 16 extra base hits, and in particular, Jason Kipnis, he's really provided a spark at the top of the line.
Well, when you talk about being locked in as a hitter, that's exactly what Jason Kipnis is right now. I mean, everything he's hitting, whether it's from the right field line to the left field line, he's driving the ball, he's hitting doubles, he's getting on base, he's setting the table. And he's done that ever since he moved into that leadoff spot, a 370 average, a 471 on base percentage. You couldn't ask for anything any better. In his last 5 games, he's been on base at least 3 times in every game. And this guy has done something that a lot of people haven't done, and he's back. I mean, he's back and done a great job leading off.
All right, hopefully the Joker and the Penguin don't show up tonight, and the Indians can get a series opening win. We'll be back with a play-by-play. All the action is coming up next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. welcome you inside Globe Life Park here in Arlington, Texas. Surprise, surprise, it's windy. Warm and breezy here in the Lone Star State as the Indians and the Rangers renew their rivalry. And it's been a little bit one-sided of late. The Indians have won 6 straight over Texas and 11 of the last 13 head-to-head. As we get a look at the window system's game-time temperature, it will be 80 degrees with that wind blowing in from right field. And then once it gets inside the ballpark, there's no telling how it affects the ball other than it will slingshot it. Primarily, it usually blows out to right center field. So it'll be interesting to see, Rick, with the wind blowing in from right, if that'll have any effect on those balls to the right center field alley, because historically that is where it has always carried in this park. So the Indians have won 11 out of 13 over Texas, but prior to that, from 2009 through 2012, it was Texas who had all the fun in this series, going 26-8 against Cleveland. So we'll see if the Indians can keep the mojo on their side. They need to get going. Need to try and win a series opener and win a series, period. Indians starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Progressive. For Terry Francona tonight, it will be Jason Kipnis leading it off. Carlos Santana bats second, and Michael Brantley hitting third. Ryan Rayburn in the cleanup spot. You see his batting average 6th best against Southpaws. Nick Swisher 5th, Brandon Moss 6th. Then it's Zach Walters, Brett Hayes, and Jose Ramirez.
Our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher is going to be Wandy Rodriguez, who is 1-1 with a 2.70 ERA. He's a 36-year-old left-hander. And in his last start, he had a no decision, but pitched very well against Tampa in 6 innings. He allowed just 1 earned run. As a matter of fact, his last 2 starts covering 14 innings allowed just 2 earned runs. And at one point, he retired 34 consecutive hitters in those 2 starts, which is a Texas record. And let's take a look at the defense, which is brought to you by Chrysler. Behind Rodriguez tonight, it'll be Blanks in left field. DeShields is in center. Chu over in right. Be Beltre at third. Andrus at short. Field at second. Moreland is at first. Corcoran doing the pitching.
Joe West, the venerable crew chief, will call the balls and strikes tonight. Gabe Morales is at first. David Rackley at second, and Rob Drake down at third. Texas comes in 15-20 on the year, 7 back in the ALS, currently in 4th place. They're a game and a half in front of last place Oakland. Indians, meanwhile, at 12-21, dead last in the AL Central, 9 games off the pace. So Jason Kipnis ready to go. Kipnis takes, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. Wandy Rodriguez 1-1 on the year. And interesting, Rick, that he's got his old battery mate Carlos Corcoran right here in Texas. The two of them work together with the Astros, so there's familiarity there, and that probably puts his mind at ease out there on the mound.
You would think so. He's caught all 4 of his starts, now make it 5.
Kipnis fouling it toward the Indians dugout, and Corcoran can't get to it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jason Kipnis with a hit in 6 straight games, and he's going 13 for 24.
He's had just a tremendous month of May. It's been fun to watch. It really has. He's under control. He's hitting the ball every field.
Big curveball, but it missed outside. Now the 2-2. And Jason did a good job just to get a little piece of that. Once you offer at it, it's not doesn't matter that it's not going to be a strike. Once you start, you've got to try to find a piece of it somehow.
How about the leadoff at bat he had against Waka?
12 pitches.
Yeah, it was something like that. He ended up with a double. It was a great at bat, and there you go again.
Line drive base hit for Jason Kipnis, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard to start tonight.
It's fun to be in a groove like he is right now, because The ball looks like a beach ball to him because he's staying back. He gets a fastball, and he's not doing too much with it. He's short, quick, line drive, and gets the Indians started again. We say that night after night.
Here is Carlos Santana now. And he takes the first pitch strike. Santana has, unlike Jason Kipnis, who went into the leadoff spot and has taken off, Santana went into the 2-hole and he has not. Batting just .219 since being inserted into the second spot on the order. But hopefully seeing the Ranger uniforms are the perfect tonic. He's a career .304 hitter against Texas. And almost every Indian in the lineup tonight has good career numbers against the Rangers. And that's just career. That doesn't mean just here in this ballpark, but when the Indians play them in Cleveland as well. Because sometimes you look at numbers in this ballpark and they might be skewed a little bit.
Well, usually we come here in the heat of the summer and the infield's very fast and the ball carries very well. Good offensive ballpark.
Santana taking again. He's in the hole 1 and 2. Down and in, he missed, and it's going to even it up. Carlos has been, and I think this kind of holds true for his career, he's been a better hitter average-wise from the right side of the plate. Power-wise, different story. His pop is from the other side.
Well, he seems to stay on the baseball a little better from this side of the plate.
Strikes out here, 1 away. Key to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Score some runs. That always works. Indians lost 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, scored 6 runs in the 3-game series. Tough to win a series, even though they had the 1-0 lead going into the late innings yesterday. Tough to win a series, though, when you.
Yes, it is. Well,
you don't give yourself any cushion.
And you won the game before 2-0.
Yeah.
I mean, the starting pitching we've witnessed in the last week has been very good. Too good to lose.
Slow curve misses inside. Last 4 games, Indian starting rotation put up a 1.86 ERA, so they have done the job. But the offense hit and miss. Kipnis and Brantley have certainly done their part, and Ryan Rayburn, when he's had his opportunities, he's been swinging the bat well. But they need some other people to step up and pick up some of the slack. Brantley batting .351 against left-handed pitching this year. Pops this one to right field near the line, and that's going to
go.
Boy, it didn't miss by much.
I was going to say, I saw him standing at home plate, and that ball may come back toward the line. I was going to watch that ball to see if it carried or it knocked it down. Michael, there you'll see the ball guy coming down, and he almost had a birdie.
Wow.
There he goes. He sensed it coming.
Two-one pitch. And now Brantley in a good spot here. 3 balls and a strike. Brantley hits it by the first baseman Moreland down the right field line into the corner. Kipnis coming around third. They're going to wave him home. Choose throw to the relay man. Throw to the plate. Not in time. And down to third goes Brantley. Terrific base running by Jason Kipnis as he scores all the way from first. And Brantley into third. The Indians have a 1-0 lead.
Well, Brantley kept his ball as Moreland's moving away from the bag. You can see he couldn't get back there in time, and he drills it into the corner. And as you put it, the dynamic duo is at it again. And Kipnis is going to score from first base. They're aggressive. They take a 1-0 lead. Brantley goes to third on the throw. So Michael Brantley an RBI double, and Cleveland is playing from in front.
Now Ryan Rayburn with the infield drawn in has a chance to add to the Indians lead right out of the gate here. He takes a strike.
For the last I'd say 3 weeks or so, the Rangers, their pitching has been very good. It's been one of the better teams, at least their starters, in the league.
Infield at the cut of the grass around the horn with Brantley at third base. Rayburn, though, in the hole, 0-2. Back out of play. Count stays, no balls, 2 strikes. Michael Brantley now 10 doubles, 19 runs batted in. Kipnis now a 7-game hitting streak. As we pointed out, they need some of these other guys to help as well. See if Rayburn can deliver.
Well, he's been locked in most of the year himself.
Yeah,
Ryan Rayburn's had off to a great start, doing his job against the left-handers. He's done a great job coming off the bench.
Outside, good eye.
Yeah, he's trying to. Well, that's what you do when you throw, and you have the the velocity he's got. Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. It's just a wraparound. He's trying to hit the outside corner to get Rayburn to swing and miss, but he didn't chase.
Oh, he popped him up. Shallow right field, racing out. Chu coming in, and he's got that big arm in right field, so no chance to score. 2 down. Our T-Mobile game changer. Let's take a look at the Cape Crusaders. Brantley and Kipnis tearing it up in the month of May. And I mean, they're doing everything well. It's not just base hits, it's RBIs, it's hitting with runners in scoring position, it's scoring runs.
They can't do anything more. I mean, a lot of times we've said many times this year, you try and do too much. You try and hit the ball out of the ballpark. These guys are doing what they have to do, and everybody else has got to follow suit. 2 guys can't carry a lineup. Everybody else has to pitch in.
Well, Nick Swisher knows Texas well. He played in this ballpark a number of times when he was coming up with Oakland early in his career. .255 career hitter against the Rangers, 21 homers, 65 runs batted in. But right now, he's in a little bit of a funk of his own. 0 for his last 11 with 7 strikeouts. 1 ball, 1 strike, or make it. I thought Joe West signaled strike there.
I thought he did.
Yeah. Okay. 1-1. And a foul back puts Swisher in the hole. Andy Rodriguez delivers up high with it. And even though Swisher's only the 5th man to bat in the inning, Rodriguez, you see there, he's closing in on a 30-pitch inning. Now he backs away. Terry Francona has to be pleased to see his team get on the board first. Something they haven't been able to do a lot this year. Fouled away. And the Indians have been able to score first. They're 8-4. When they don't, they're just 4-17. Now the 2-2 to Swish. Line drive, right center field, base hit in the alley. Chu can't get it. It goes to the wall. Swisher on his way to second base. His first extra base hit of the year, or make it his second extra base hit of the year. Picks up his first RBI. And the Indians have a 2-0 lead.
Well, that's a nice approach there coming off Wandy Rodriguez. He got a pitch down in the zone and he just throws it out to right center field. So a big 2-out base hit. Pick up your teammate Ryan Rayburn, and they got 2 in the first. So Swisher, his first ribby this year, his 300th career double.
And already Wandy Rodriguez gets a visit on the mound in this first inning. As I told you, closing in on a 30-pitch first inning with Brandon Moss coming up. And now Swisher in scoring position as the Indians with a couple of extra base hits right out of the gate here tonight.
Yeah, and that's not Mike Maddox either, because he's attending a graduation for his daughter. So that's Andy Hawkins. He will serve as the pitching coach today.
Hawkins normally the bullpen coach for Texas. Well, the Indians have already put 2 on the board. Rodriguez had given up 2 runs in his first 2 starts here in the month of May. Moss looks at a slow curve in for a strike.
Yeah, and that's covering 14 innings. So get him early.
Well, in his 4 starts coming in, he'd only given up more than 1 run once. Swisher at second base. And Moss looks at the ball outside.
Yeah, you don't want to hang a breaking ball to this guy with that short right field porch.
Slowly chopped to short. Elvis Andrus will throw him out. Well, the Indians strike first. Michael Brantley brings home Jason Kipnis. Tribe on top 2-0. Texas Rangers starting lineup under manager Jeff Bannister is presented by Toyota. Shin-Soo Choo leading it off, riding a 14-game hitting streak. Then it's Elvis Andrus, followed by Prince fielder. Adrian Beltre, Kyle Blanks, Mitch Moreland in the middle. Thomas Field, Carlos Corcoran, and Delino DeShields rounded out.
Well, Northern Ohio Honda dealer's starting pitcher will be Bruce Chen. His only start. Chen has allowed 10 hits in 4 innings and 6 runs. But getting another opportunity here tonight.
Chu pulls one to second base. Kipnis has it and throws him out 1 away.
And the defense for the Tribe, which is brought to you by Chrysler. It'll be Rayburn in left field. Brantley is in center. Moss in right. Zach Walters gets the start at third. Jose Ramirez is short. Kipnis is at second. Santana at first with Brett Hayes doing the catching.
Take a look at the numbers of Chen. You just gave them to us, but it was kind of ugly that first time out. But you look at this guy's career, and he's had some very good years. I think for any pitcher, you get to a certain point in your career in terms of age, the velocity starts to go. The question is, can you command the baseball well enough to get by without that velocity?
Well, that's what we're going to look for tonight from both of these pitchers, because Rodriguez being 36, Chen is 37. They have got to be pinpoint. You know, they're going to give up some hits. They pitch to contact. They try and take you off the center part of the bat. But I'll tell you what, you don't want to make many mistakes.
Andrus finds the hole on the right side.
How many times we said that? 39 consecutive times. So it started his career, and then it ended last year, that streak, the hitting streak against the Indians. But this guy just seems, for whatever reason, to wear the Indians out. There you'll see a pitch away, and he stays right on it. He takes just what Chen gave him. He didn't try to pull that ball. So a 1-out single for the Rangers.
Andrus takes his lead as Prince Fielder steps in. And he drives one to deep right field, and that baby is going to leave the yard. Rangers come right back. 2 batters into the game, or 3 batters into the game, and we are tied at 2. Fielder's 5th home run of the year. RBIs number 21 and 22.
Well, he was hitting .318 off of Chen coming in. 7 hits and 22 at bats with 2 homers and 6 ribbies. So make it 3 and 8, and that's liftoff there, baby. So 1 swing of the bat for the Rangers, and we have a tie ball game.
Now Adrian Beltre. He's done plenty of damage in his career against the Indians, batting .291 against the Tribe overall, but since 2012 he's hitting .370 against Cleveland pitching. Beltre swats one to center. Brantley back. Goodbye. The 400th home run in the career of Adrian Beltre. And the Rangers take a 3-2 lead.
Crowd on their feet, give him a little standing ovation. I'll tell you, he's been a good player for a long time. 52nd player with 400 home runs. And he passes the great Al Kaline, who had .399, and also Andres Galarraga. They want a curtain call.
And he gives it to him. And he's given the Texas Rangers a 3-2 lead. 3 consecutive batters here in the first after Chu grounded out to start the game. Now Big Kyle blanks. Center field. That's going to drop.
Come back. Let's check out the pitch to Beltre. He threw him one. Actually, that was right there. I mean, it was down in the middle of the plate, and he shot it to straightaway center field for number 400 in his career.
Well, I don't see any action as of yet, but they're stirring in the Indians bullpen already. And we are going to get somebody up and throwing.
Boy, that's the last thing you need. The first to start your road trip is to get that bullpen up in the very first inning.
Looks like Ryan Webb, who did give the Indians 3 innings of relief his first time out, but not necessarily a guy you think
and
of.
that's the longest he's ever pitched.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, that's stretching it.
Here's Mitch Moreland, just came off the DL 2 days ago. He had surgery to remove some bone chips in his left elbow. And he waves at an off-speed pitch.
Good pitch, Mitch.
Bang the first, but foul. And it's 1-2. And the Rangers' first baseman. Swing and a miss, chased one in the dirt. And he strikes out, 2 down. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
Hey, Matt, we knew that Bruce Chen was going to have to be very fine today coming into this ballpark. We know it's a hitter's ballpark. The wind is blowing out, obviously, and he's a fly ball pitcher. Coming into today, he had allowed 11 home runs to here and a .621 slugging percentage here at this ballpark. So this is probably not the best ballpark to have Bruce Chen in, but got to take advantage when you get the chance.
Yeah, obviously he's going to have to make some quick adjustments. Thomas Field homered in his major league debut Monday against Kansas City. What was interesting about that is that the last Ranger to homer in his debut was Jurickson Profar, who did it against the Indians 3 years ago.
I remember. And that was supposed to be the next young up-and-coming superstar for the Rangers. But, boy, injuries have taken its toll on him, haven't they?
Yeah, I remember when we saw him, we thought, my goodness.
He was a good-looking player.
There's another great player that they've...
He homered, I remember, in his first at-bat and then hit a double down the line. I think the homer was off McAllister, if I'm not mistaken.
Right at Kipnis. And he throws out Field to end the inning. But the Rangers play long ball here in their home yard in the first. A 2-run shot by fielder number 400 for Beltre. 3-2 Texas.
2015 with the MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcast stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Second inning here in Texas. Bottom third of the Indians order due. Zach Walters to lead it off. 0 for 8, 6 strikeouts. The switch hitter backs away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walters now behind in the count, 1-2. Right back to him. Easy play for the left-hander. 1 away. Stat of the game is brought to you by Buick. Indians in the first game of a series have 1 win. Why? Well, they've been outscored by 20 runs in those 11 games. So. And the one they won, they scored 13 of those 35 runs.
Yes, they did. That's right.
Brett Hayes getting the start tonight behind the plate. Hayes 1 for 5 against Texas pitching, and that 1 hit a home run. Drives one to right field. Chu reaches up and pulls it down 2 away. Just a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Hayes drove it pretty well. Jose Ramirez to the plate. Squares around and takes a strike. Ramirez has 1 hit against left-handed pitching. 1 for 25. Pops him up. Well, the Indians go 1-2-3 here in the second inning. 3-2 Rangers. 3-2, Texas on top. Bottom of the second inning. Carlos Corcoran will lead off for the Rangers. And that's going to be popped out of play to the right.
Well, we'll see if Chen can get him right back in after giving up 4 straight hits in that first inning, 7 coming to the plate.
Look, there's a high pop. Into foul ground comes Walters, stumbling and doesn't make the play.
Well, it's not knowing where you're at on the field. You've got to take a peek and you've got to get to that railing first. I know it's uncharted waters for him at third base, but look, he never took his eye off the ball. He took a quick peek earlier. You've got to get over there much quicker to the railing and make your adjustment. That'll go as no play, but that ball should be caught.
No, they're going to credit. Or not credit, they're going to charge him with an error.
Okay, I can see that. And there you go. You get an extra strike, and what happens? You get a base hit. New life. And I mean, you talk about just serving it into center field. Look at that. He took a half a swing.
Trying to bunt was Delino DeShields Jr., but a foul right back. Squares again, bunts this one fair. Chen will have to hurry. The throw not in time.
I'll tell you, a beautiful bunt. I mean, it hugged the line and went all the way down there, stayed on the grass, and by the time Chen had to turn around because he was forced to field the ball. See, Santana couldn't get there, and it stays on the grass, and DeShields, by the time he throws it, beats it out. So instead of a sacrifice, he gets a bunt base hit. So the first 2 are aboard. And that bullpen is going again.
Two on, nobody out here. Shin-Soo Choo. Webb continues to get ready in the Cleveland bullpen. 2 on, nobody out here in the second. Chu sends a fly ball left center field. Racing back is Rayburn. Makes the catch, slams into the wall. Everybody has to retreat on the base pass.
Wow, what a catch.
Corcoran was able to tag at second and go to third.
What a catch.
Terry Francona wants to check on Ryan Rayburn to see if he's all right. He really smoked the wall in left center field.
He did a face plant. He said he's all right. He may have knocked the wind out of him. He may have bumped his knee. But I will tell you one thing. That is a tremendous catch. You can see he's trying to get some air into those lungs. Watch him go a face plant right into the wall, the long run, and boom, it said stop. He didn't see that sign. And he kept going right into it. And I mean to tell you, that thing, boy, he held on, and he was smart enough to get up and get rid of that ball. Wow.
Sorry, officer, I didn't see the stop sign.
Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't have time to see it. He's all right. He just has to catch his breath. What a great play. And I mean, now there's still a double play in order, because Corcoran was able to go back to second base and tag up, and DeShields was all the way. There you go. It says stop, not go.
Oh, he stopped all right.
Yes, I'll tell you, the walls never move. I don't care they're padded or whatever, but I'll tell you, they don't budge an inch. But what a great play, Ryan. Nice catch.
So 1 out, first and third. Elvis Andrus to the plate. You had a situation where Corcoran and DeShields were almost both standing on second base at the same time.
Yeah, that's why he had to go back. He couldn't tag up, and Corcoran, you know, he wanted to at least get to third. Just a great play. And I'll tell you what, it was the first out of the inning. That saved probably 2 runs, because if he doesn't catch it, it's going to ricochet off the wall. Although Brantley was over there backing up.
Snap throw over, but DeShields back. They're trying to wear him out, but this guy, if he wants to go, he's going to go, and not a lot you're going to do about it. He's been caught once, 9 steals. 6 of his 9 steals have come in his last 7 games.
Well, yeah, like you say, and are they even going to throw through? I'd say yes, because Corcoran's over on third base. So yeah, you go ahead and throw. It's a catcher.
To Kipnis. They'll go to second for 1, back to first. Inning-ending double play.
What a save, huh?
Wow, that was terrific defense by Kipnis in the middle of the diamond to turn 2. And what a job by Rayburn and left to get the Indians out of trouble.
Take on the Cincinnati Reds on Saturday. We return home. It'll be May 23rd, and you can save on tickets by lower reserved or lower box by May 18th, and you can save 19%. The deal is available only at Indians.com/buy early.
Jason Kipnis leading off the 3rd inning, looks at a ball outside. Fastball away, 2-0. Fastball caught the inside corner.
Wow, that's a get through.
Spinning around and making a perfect throw was Field to retire Kipnis.
Yeah, I thought it had a chance to sneak through there, but Field makes a nice play. Retires Kipnis. Found it in the hole. And he's running to the outfield, but he gets it, gets rid of it quickly.
First baseman Carlos.
Pretty good play.
And a fastball right at the knees to Carlos Santana, who struck out his first time up. Wandy Rodriguez goes right back down there at the bottom of the zone. Borderline, but gets the call. And Santana swings at the 2-strike pitch, gets a piece of it. And a ground ball right at the shortstop Andrus. 2 down. Today's injury report is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk and Elk, and the pitching staff for Texas has been decimated by injuries.
Look at that. How about 1, 2, 3 left-handers, 3 right-handers.
And Michael Brantley taking curveball in for a strike. One and one.
Brantley pulled a double for an RBI, scoring Kipnis in his first at bat right down the line.
High heater, but out of the strike zone. Time called as Rodriguez took a little too long. 3-2, Rangers lead it. Rodriguez has retired 6 in a row since the Nick Swisher RBI double in the first. And that was called a strike. I'm thinking to myself, Rick, Joe West, he's got his hands full tonight for as long as Rodriguez is in the game, because you watch the catcher Corporate, he's moving all over the place. He's trying to get every pitch framed right on the outside part of the dish.
Well, they don't want him to miss. There's a nice, pretty good pitch and a better piece of hitting right there by Michael Brantley.
He's 2 for 2.
He saw that curveball enough in that at bat. He waited back nicely and just gulched it into right field. You see, this one he stays on the plate. And that ball didn't get down where he wanted it to. That's why a lot of times you'll see catchers move off the plate. So if they start it there, they want it to end where you're sitting. But he had the plate. It got a little too much of the plate for Michael, and he gets his second straight hit. And by now the cobweb should be out of Ryan Rayburn's head. What a catch.
All right back. Well, you think back, Rick, just a few years ago, we were here and we saw 3 great catches in left field by Shelley Duncan.
Oh, in 1 inning. That's right. I do remember that. He couldn't believe it. Remember those 3?
The last one he caught, he was like, you got to be kidding me.
It's like he won the lottery. Well, I'll tell you what, you can put down about 2 RBIs for Rayburn tonight with that catch, because that's what he saved, because right after that, They got the double play ball, and they had a 0 for the inning.
Fouled back. There it is.
Boy, ask and you shall receive. That's the first one, out number 1. The second one, a little tougher. Whoa, yes, I got it. Look at the smile. And the toughest of them all. Look at him. Look at the look on his face.
Priceless.
I'm going to tell you, that last shot right there, boy, did he look just like his dad.
There's a throw to second base. Brantley's got a steal. Nice job by Thomas Field to come off the bag and get the ball. Because if he doesn't, that thing's in center field and Brantley's still running.
Well, I like the timing. Go ahead, get yourself in scoring position. If you have an opportunity, it's an 0-2 count. He picks a breaking ball and then steals it easily. So for Michael, that's his 6th stolen base, and he has yet to be caught.
And Ryan Rayburn now with an RBI opportunity. Though he is down on the count 1-2. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. No runs ahead, a man left. We head to the bottom of the 3rd in Texas. 3-2 Rangers. Evening. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. 3-2 Texas, bottom of the 3rd. Prince Fielder, Adrian Beltre, and Kyle Blanks due up. Fielder, a 2-run homer, his first time up. Sends a high fly ball left center. Brantley says, "I'll take it." And Rayburn ends up making the catch.
Well, the wind pushed it over. You see him looking up there. You know, at center field, you want to take charge. Ryan said, "Hey, I got this covered, bro."
They were both calling for it, but
well, and then by the time he realized, "Hey, this is my ball." That's pretty good. And you know what? I understand. Michael playing center, hasn't been there a lot. He wants to catch everything he can get to. But you see what that wind is doing. We thought, you know, it's going to knock it down a little bit, and it certainly did.
Adrian Beltre. Wind did knock his down in the first. He hit it to straightaway center for a home run.
That's true.
Yanked left field deep and fair. Rayburn firing towards second base, cut off. And Beltre 2 for 2 with a home run and now a double.
Well, this time he tries to throw something inside. Beltre just turned on it And it short hops the wall out there, so he will get a double. He's 2 for 2. A double and a dinger. That's number 7 for him.
Well, Terry Francona has seen enough.
Well, he doesn't want it to get out of hand here.
So Bruce Chen out after 2 1/3 here in Texas. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen will be for Ryan Webb. And he'll be coming on to face Kyle Blanks when we come back. Knocked around pretty good here in his second start with the Indians. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 home runs. And after the 1-out double by Beltre, Terry Francona goes to Ryan Webb, making his 7th appearance of the year. You have to wonder, Rick, what this does to the Indians going forward, because you're going to burn through a lot of bullpen people tonight. You would assume, unless Webb can give you multiple innings again. And Chen has been ineffective now in both starts.
Yeah, yes, you have to hope that this guy can give you a solid 2, if not 3, like he did that first outing. If he can give you 3, you'll be thrilled. Now, this is not exactly how you want it set up for your first game of a road trip, especially in this ballpark.
Big Kyle Blanks, 6'6", takes outside. Blanks is making his first start of the year in the outfield tonight. Hit to third. Walters. Low throw. Santana can't hang on. So Walters with his 2nd error of the night already.
He had the ball, made the play. It was the throw that was shaky. And didn't get any help from Santana, so that'll go as a 2nd error, and it's now 1st and 2nd.
Boy, and that's one, too, where I know it's not a good throw, but what happened to Santana? It's right in the glove. But he doesn't squeeze it. So we got 2 on and 1 out, and Mitch Moreland coming to the plate. He struck out his first time up. And a strike to the outside corner. Now the 0-1 to Webb. Or from Webb, I should say. Oh, Moreland off the foot. Ouch, he's hopping around.
Well, he's got the padding on there, at least up on his shin, the lower part of it. This goes off the toe and off the shoe.
With 2 on and 1 out. The pitch just missed inside. Pretty good looking 2-strike pitch from Webb. Outfield for the Indians straight up. Infield shading up the middle on the left side. Right side of the infield. Pretty standard setup. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. 2 down. Moreland down on strikes for the second time here tonight. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
Now, TJ House today pitched 3 innings, had 37 pitches, 28 were strikes, only allowed 1 hit and had 5 strikeouts. Yan Gomes today caught him in Eastlake. He went 2 for 2 and scored a run from second base. So he looked good. He'll catch again on Sunday.
All right, thanks, Andre. That's certainly great news.
So chance maybe by next Friday when we get home for Gomes. Huh?
I wouldn't think he'd need a lot. I mean, as long as the knee feels good and it's strong and it's stable, I wouldn't think he'd need a ton of.
He'll be ready to go. You know that.
Thomas Field takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I know as well as you do that Gomes is the guy that recognizes a team could use his bat back in the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to make every effort to get back here as soon as he can.
Wow. There's that sinker. Now you get a right-hander that fouls it off his foot. So back-to-back hitters on the sinker from Webb. That's a good sign. That means that ball's going down. They're hitting the top half of the baseball, and they're beating themselves up.
Again. He's talking to himself. Ryan Webb trying to get out of the inning after the Rangers put 2 on. And only 1 out thanks to an error. It should be over, but Webb 1 strike away from ending the threat. And he hit him. Bases are loaded.
Well, let's take a look at that. It just lets it go, and there's no way.
2-seamer that just.
Yeah, it just took off on him. There's no way Field could get out of the way. But now you're going to have to work extra hard to get out of this inning. You wanted that guy right there. He beat himself up, fouled a couple off his body, had him down in the count, and ended up hitting him.
Carlos Corcoran reached on an error his first time up. Or I should say, he reached on a base hit after the error allowed his at-bat to continue. And a foul over toward the Texas dugout. Bases loaded, 2 out here in the third. All 3 Rangers runs came in the first inning. Starter Bruce Chen chased here in the third. Chased one in the dirt. He's down on the count of 1-2. Corcoran, in his previous 9 games, was just 4 for 27 at the plate, dipping his batting average down below 200. And time call. Back. Indians embarking on a 7-game road trip, 3 here in Texas, then 4 next week against the White Sox in Chicago.
Well, and the Indians will finish their schedule with the Texas Rangers within 2 weeks, because Texas is going to be home on that last homestand, or that next one.
Wow, bat shattered. Webb throws him out. He split that thing right down the middle. Rangers leave him loaded. They lead it 3-2 after 3. Gear up for the 2nd annual Velosano Bike Ride for Cancer Research, July 17th through the 19th. There's an option for everyone with 6 different routes that start and finish in downtown Cleveland, including 1-day and 2-day rides. Every dollar raised by Velosano participants benefits cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. So spread the word and bike to cure. Get involved by visiting velosano.org. Nick Swisher, Brandon Moss, and Zach Walters due up here in the 4th for Cleveland. Swisher had a 2-out RBI double in the first. Big curveball in for a strike. Right field, fair ball. Swisher got a late break. I'm not sure he ever saw the ball.
You're right.
Around first, and he'll head to second. And he's got his second double of the night, a leadoff two-bagger, and that's the tying run into scoring position.
I think you're right. He didn't know where the ball was. I mean, and then all of a sudden he picked it up down the right field line on the swing. Watch, he doesn't know where it's at. He's looking up for it like he fouled it off. Hey, it's down the line, bro. He's got it. So a nice short stroke. There it is.
Look at Swish. He's laughing it up. He can't believe it. He lost it in the lights.
Which way did it go? Which way did it go?
Brandon Moss grounded to short, his only time up. And he chases one up high. Strike one. Moss sends a high fly ball deep center field. Back is to Shields. He'll circle under it and make the catch. Switcher will tag. He heads to third and he'll go in safely. And so now the tying run just 90 feet away.
Well, 10,000 fans will receive a 1975 replica jersey. That's courtesy of Shears. That'll take place next Saturday when the Cincinnati Reds are in town. And those are the red jerseys they used to wear back in '75. And Frank Robinson, opening day, hit the home run in '75. Those jerseys right there, 10,000 people will receive them. Go to Indians.com.
Zach Walters with the infield in. Line drive, base hit, left field, and the Indians have tied it up. Walters with his first hit of the year. And it comes at a perfect time as he drives home Swisher. 3-3 in the fourth.
It's a ball out over the plate, but it was upstairs. Not sure if it was a changeup, but it made it a lot easier for him to hit that infield in. You look for a pitch up in the zone. He got it. Base hit, his first one this year, his first RBI. We have a new ball game.
And now Brett Hayes to the plate. Flying to right, his only time up. He hit the ball pretty hard, drives this one to left field. Back is Blanks, and just onto the warning track. He pulls it down, 2 away. This is one of those ballparks where sometimes every ball hit in the air you think has a chance to get out of here.
On certain nights it does.
Jose Ramirez. He popped one up on the infield, his only time up, back in the second. Manny Rodriguez deals, and a slow breaking ball in for a strike. That's his 70th pitch of the night. 46 have been strikes. And the pitch sails on him outside. 2-1. Ramirez yanks one deep down the left field line. Blanks into the corner, makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Nick Swisher with a leadoff double comes home on a Zach Walters RBI single, and the Indians have tied the game at 3. We'll go back to yesterday's finale against the St. Louis Cardinals, and Trevor Bauer went 7 in the third. He was charged with 1 run on 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 10. Terry Francona told us really thought Bauer pitched well. I mean, it's a 1-0 game. You're pitching like that almost the whole day, so it's a.
Well, he pitched a great game. The mistake he made was walking the guy.
Peter Borges.
Peter Borges, yeah, with 2-out walk. Yes.
He would come around to score on the homer. And that would be it. Matt Carpenter's home run was the margin of victory, 2-1 St. Louis. Cardinals are home tonight, hosting the Detroit Tigers in an interleague series. Here Ryan Webb delivers to Delano DeShields. 1 ball, 1 strike. Up the corner, and DeShields falls behind in the count 1-2.
Yeah, when you're looking for that sinker, and that's what he likes to do, bury that sinker into the right-handers. That's a very good pitch. That slider going away on the outside edge.
Chopper toward third. Wallers picks it, throws it, got him.
That's a nice play. That was a tough hop. Well, it's a Sugardale Dollar Dog night next Friday. The Indians will take on the Reds in that series. Plus, also after the ball game, you're going to have your first post-game fireworks show, which will take place. It's presented by Wayside Furniture. Go to Indians.com for your tickets.
By the way, that game, St. Louis hosting Detroit Tigers, lead the Cardinals 1-0. They're in the 4th inning, so it's a very similar game for St. Louis tonight that they had yesterday. Chu bunts it, foul, third base side. Interesting in that Chu, Rick, comes in with a 14-game hitting streak. But to give me an idea how bad his season was going, because you can see there, his season average is at .239. You have a 14-game hitting streak.
Yeah.
He was batting .096 when this streak began.
Well, and he was upset on that ball that Rayburn caught. He thought he had a gapper and was going to drive in. That's a good pitch. He thought he was going to drive in a couple of runs. Yeah, you see, you can see where Hayes was talking to Joe West.
That looked like a pretty good pitch.
That's what I was saying. It had the plate, no doubt about it.
Pulls that one to Kipnis. 2 down.
You know, this was a very big inning for the Indians because Rayburn makes that catch with 2 guys on.
And nobody out.
One guy was able to tag to go to third base. He gets it in, but the very next hitter, they turn a sweet 4-6-3 double play to get out of the inning. And a 0 went on the board. You know, a 0 went on after that, and the Indians were able to come back and tie it up. That was a huge turning point in this ball game, I think.
Now Elvis Andrus leans back from that sinker. It's ball 1. Swung out and missed. So why is it that the sinker and the slider go together like peanut butter and jelly?
Well, they always have. I don't know if it's arm slot.
Has to be, right?
Yeah, it's arm slot where you're down a little bit, and you got to keep your hand back behind the sinker so it goes down. It doesn't stay flat on a plane, but it's an easy slot to throw the slider. It's not over the top where you want to throw a curveball. It's tougher to get on top of the baseball. And it used to be back when I was playing. What does he throw? Sinker, slider.
Yeah.
Sinker, slider. You know, it was just that easy.
Sinker, forkball. No, it doesn't happen.
His arm slot's a little different from where he throws from, and that's where, you know, some guys How many guys do you see throw straight over the top that are right-handed that have sinkers? They're four-seamers.
Yeah, not many.
And then you'll see curveballs coming from that high arm slot. You don't see the sinker slider.
Jake Westbrook told me one time, he said, I'm not sure how I make it sink. Well, it's just the way his natural arm slot and the way he let it go.
Yeah, he couldn't throw the ball straight if you played catch with him anywhere. He probably hurts his kids when he plays catch. They can't catch it.
Well, from the left side, Rafael Perez was like that for Cleveland out of the bullpen.
Well, a lot of left-handers have a tough time throwing it straight.
Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Ryan Webb works a 1-2-3 fourth inning. He's given the Indians some solid relief so far tonight. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough. 3-3 our score, fifth inning.
So far, so good for Webb. It's been very good.
Jason Kipnis singled and scored in the first, grounded out his last time up. And he lines one into center field, a base hit. He's 2 for 3 on the day.
They had to make a good play to take him away from his third hit in his last at-bat.
Here's the Lowe's never stop improving stat in the month of May. Kipnis is batting .490 to lead the majors. 373 out of the leadoff spot.
Yeah, that's like, you know, when you have 51 at-bats. It's like a high school season, but it's in 2 weeks, and he has been hot.
Meeting at the mound as the Texas bullpen starts to get a little stirring down there. Nobody up at this point, but
it won't be long.
Yeah, he's at 75. Well, next pitch will be his 75th.
You know, the thing about it with, you know, pitchers, I know they know how to pitch. Rodriguez 36. It can go quickly, you know, because they don't have overpowering stuff where they can blow away some hitters. You could get a base hit here, next thing you know, a big fly, and you got 3 on the board. So it can go in a hurry. You have to be careful. Yeah, we got to send out our birthday wishes tonight. Down in the truck, our own Mike Pacta. Happy birthday, Mike. Redbird.
Yeah.
I always remember his birthday with Lenny's perfect game.
May 15th. Does a May 15th go by that you don't at least pause and think back to that night?
No. Or Redbird's birthday. Either one. I mean, they're both the same. They're equal in my eyes. No, it doesn't. Next year will be 35 years. I'm sure that'll be out.
Well, let me put it to you this way: does it come and go with you actually thinking about it, or just people asking you about it and that jogging?
It doesn't have to be the 15th. It could be any time. Any day. It could be in the off season or anything. People always, talk about it, remember it, which is very special. I just had the opportunity to talk to Big Alan Jensen today about it. That made it special.
Well, the game we saw the other night, and you mentioned it to me, that was as good a game as you've ever seen pitch, Kluber.
No doubt. That was as good. In my mind, yes, it was.
The perfect game is just
actually it was a more overpowering game, because of the strikeouts. You said, what do you have? 13 out of the last 16 outs were strikeouts.
Strikeouts, yeah.
I mean, that was awesome in its own way. That was an unbelievable game.
Pulled towards third. Beltre going to go to first, and Santana is retired. One away. Here we go. Let's go back. May 15th.
Fly ball center field. Manning coming on. He's there. He catches it. Len Barker has pitched the no-hitter. A perfect game for Len Barker.
There's Grover. Toby was in there. Yeah. Herbie scored doing the broadcasting.
11 of his strikeouts, all 11 came after the third inning.
Yeah. And no 3-ball counts.
First perfect game against the DH lineup.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Brantley 2 for 2 on the night. Trying to deliver his partner once again. He did it in the first inning with an RBI double to plate Jason Kipnis.
And now that we're throwing birthdays around, we got to wish Michael Brantley.
Michael Brantley, that's right.
On the 15th. And in his last at bat, he picked out a curveball. He threw him too many. So now, I don't know. They may be a little more careful here with Michael.
And with a base open.
Yeah.
You don't have to give in, although you got the right-handed hitting Rayburn due up next.
Well, you better make a really good pitch. He thought he had one there, but nope.
He had a long look in, and then he yells into his glove. That, I'm sure, got the attention of Joe West.
Now that's respect. He came in there at 3-0 count and threw the breaking ball. He wasn't going to give in and give him a fastball. And there you go. Take it away, and it was a pretty good one. It looked like it was outside. Pitch before that was better. How far was that off our box? A good ways?
Yeah.
He would have been able to hit that with a boat paddle.
Ball 4.
Yeah, you can't give that one and the one before that.
Brantley's first time up, he bounced one by the first baseman down into the corner. And then he roped one into right field with 2 outs in the third inning. So after drawing the walk with 1 out, Ryan Rayburn coming to the plate.
Sandy's got a sporting goods store over there at first. He's got a couple of pair of batting gloves, a shin guard.
I got 2 shin guards. I think Brantley wears one and Kipnis wears one.
Well, you get over there and the guy's all right. Here you go. Take this. He doesn't have enough pockets. Look at him. Sandy doesn't have to worry about moving on a foul ball. He's protected.
And he's got
the stopwatch over there to check out the time on his move.
Way outside. Now the 1-1. Well, Sandy's now a Texan.
Yes, he is.
He and his wife Margaret bought a home and make their home now here in the Lone Star State, not far from
around the Dallas area.
Yeah. So he got to sleep at home last night.
Yeah, it's still hard to believe he's a resident here.
I don't think of him as a Texan.
I know.
There's the 1-1. Pretty good pitch right there.
Had enough of it off. 74 miles an hour on that slow hook.
Rayburn popped one up to shallow right his first time up, and then he struck out in the third. So Rodriguez has had him crossed up at home plate. Texas getting some action in the bullpen.
He stepped off and looked at third base. He had to be like an owl with that way his head was
I
turning.
thought that would look strange, you know.
It did look strange.
You know, if you didn't see his feet moving, you would have thought that's a balk, but his foot was off the back
he took
of the
it
rubber.
off. He took it off and then looked at third base for whatever reason.
Rayburn awaiting the 2-2, and again Rodriguez steps off. It's like going into the four corners offense here. Yuji Fujikawa getting loose in that Texas bullpen.
Got another timeout. Well, when you want to talk pace of play and everything, it all revolves around a pitcher and their rhythm. They dictate it all.
Slowly chopped towards first base. Moreland flips it back, and they get the out, 2 down. Kipnis to third with the go-ahead run. Brantley to second. And Nick Swisher will be the batter. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, and I like that swing there going to right center field. That's a big 2-out base hit, his first ribby, and then which way did it go? He didn't see it off the bat. But
he hit that off the trademark,
and that goes down the right field line. He's laughing about it now because he didn't pick it up, but it was good for a double.
Then he came around to score the tying run.
Yes, he did. So a situation here now with second and third. First base is open. Moss is on deck, the left-hander. And Swisher already 2 for 2. So we'll see how the approach goes here for Swisher. I love the approach the first 2 times. Up the middle other way.
Inside, ball 1.
That's when you do that. That's what usually gets you pitches inside. How many times have I said, when you prove to a pitcher you can go the other way and you're going to take what he gives you outside, that forces him to pitch you inside.
Good breaking ball, over for a strike, and it's 1-1. In.
Trying to make that perfect pitch in there and see if he comes back with that breaking ball again. He's going inside, just to make him conscious of the inside part of the plate. Hasn't thrown it for a strike because if you miss, he wants to miss inside with it.
Swisher trying to right side of the infield. It's through. That'll score the go-ahead run. Kipnis. Brantley coming right behind him. He scores 2. That dynamic duo both cross home plate here in the 5th. And the Indians go ahead 5-3.
And the commissioner's 3 for 3. Give him 2 more.
Commissioner Gordon delivers again.
Give him 2 more RBIs. He gets the breaking ball. But look at the approach. Stayed back on it. And good night. Great night for Swish right now. His 3rd RBI. The Indians jump up top and they take the lead back.
And now Brandon Moss, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Out of play to the left. And that drops in for a strike. It's 0-2. Five runs on 8 hits now for the Indians. 3 runs, 7 hits for Texas. Moss pulls that one foul up the first base side. With 2 outs, you kind of get the feeling, even though you have a switch hitter on deck, this is the last batter for Rodriguez. Fujikawa looks ready in the bullpen. It's just a matter of, can Rodriguez get the 3rd out here? Or will he make a mistake and let Moss knock him out of the game? Brandon, a lifetime .260 hitter against Texas pitching with 10 homers, 23 runs batted in.
Yeah, you can see he's getting to the end of the line.
Notices the fastball, and Moss rips it down the left field line, but foul.
Staying alive, falling off some good pitches, looking for one to get up in the zone, and he's left a few up there.
Swisher, the runner at first base. Moss sends another foul out of play to the left. Brandon Moss making it his mission to see that everybody gets a ball tonight. Hit that one down to a bunch of Tribe fans. Hit him. And that probably will be it for Rodriguez.
Well, you certainly would think so.
Here comes Jeff Bannister, and that's going to be it for the southpaw. Lonnie Rodriguez goes 4 2/3 innings tonight. He leaves after giving up 5 runs on 8 hits. And the 2 runners on base will be his responsibility. We got a timeout in Arlington. Indians on top 5-3. Another doubleheader. Division rivals Atlanta and Florida, or Miami rather, will square off. Then it's the Pirates and the Cubs. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Kyuji Fujikawa made his Rangers debut yesterday and worked a 1-2-3 8th inning. Had to start the year on the DL with a groin injury that he suffered in almost the last day of spring training, March 31st.
Yeah, bad time for that to happen. Season just around the corner.
He's a guy that's come back from Tommy John surgery. Zach Walter's a big RBI single his last time up, his first hit of the year. But it tied the game at 3, and now the Indians have gone ahead on Nick Swisher's 2-run single here in the 5th. Swisher's at second base with Moss down at first.
And like they've scored in 3 of the first 5 innings.
Swisher a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. Remember, just recently had a 4-hit game.
Yeah, he's had a great approach against Wandy Rodriguez tonight. Everything going the other way. I don't know if he feels more comfortable from the right side, but he had a really good approach. I still go back to the turning point in this game was that play back in the 2nd inning by Ryan Rayburn. That put a 0 on the board, and from that point on, it did something to the Indians because it sparked them. They were able to tie it, now take the lead, and they put zeros on the board ever since.
2-1 fastball, a little bit low. 3 balls and a strike. You get more excited over good defense than anything else.
I do, because that helps you out, especially when you're on the road. Good defense can save you.
Three-one pitch to Walters. And he drives one to right field. On the run is Chu in the corner. Makes a catch. A terrific defensive play by Shin-Soo Chu. And how room might that one large as this game goes on. He saved at least a run, if not more. But Nick Swisher has put the Indians on top 5-3. Indians' Lonnie Chisenhall has come into the ball game at third base. Zach Walters moves from third base to left, as Ryan Rayburn is now out of the ballgame. Ryan Webb has already gone an inning and 2/3. And he starts the 5th inning by facing Prince Fielder. Our player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. First round pick of the Brewers back in 02. It's 0-2.
And he has never got cheated in his day, just like Daddy. Only father-son to hit 50 homers in a season. How about that?
Wound up playing where his dad made his name famous, in Detroit, before coming here to Texas, and was limited to 40-50 games last year before that neck injury knocked him out, and that ended a streak of almost 500 consecutive games.
Yeah, well, he was never missed a game. He just kept playing, and then all of a sudden he comes here and misses the year.
547 games was the streak for Prince Fielder. May 16th, 1 year ago tomorrow, is when his season came to an end. He crushes that one, a deep left center. Brantley on the move, makes the catch as Walters.
Good idea.
Just peeled off in time.
Well, you see, now Walters is at third base, so they make a few defensive changes. And I'll tell you what, that's the right thing. If he can get there, he's calling for it. Walters could have caught it, but he hears him. Michael continued to call for it. That away. That's not a combination that's been out there. Walters on left and Brantley in center. So Michael's in charge, and he knows it. You got to take charge and let him know. He did. They peeled off. They get the out.
Now Adrian Beltre, 2 for 2 with a homer and a double.
Well, you can't ask much more from Webb than what he's done to this point.
No, he's had a good sinker that's been going down and into the right-handed hitters. His slider's been effective. He struck out Elvis Andrus to end the 4th inning with a good one.
Yeah, Ryan's had a nice mix tonight.
Bullseye. He gets ahead of Beltre 1-2.
You know, and I think the key here, you look for it, and I'm sure Terry and Mickey Callaway will be looking for that ball when it stops going down. It stays on the same plane. Going across, that could mean he's tired. But he's had good sink to his pitches.
Sometimes, and we know this from years past, sometimes the more tired, the better for a sinker baller, because they don't overthrow.
Well, when you're not used to throwing that many pitches, though, the thing of it is, he's done above and beyond right here, having to come into the 3rd inning.
And he hit him, didn't he?
Yeah, sure looks like it.
So here comes Terry Francona, and that's going to be it for Ryan Webb.
Yeah, I knew they were going to have a close eye on him, and he doesn't want to make a mistake here with Beltre, but that one he just hung on to a little too long, and it gets him on the leg. Beltre knew nothing was. There you go, a tap on the back. Terry happy with the job that Webb did tonight.
2 innings of no-hit baseball. He did hit 2 batters, but he's out, and in comes Zach McAllister. Indians lead it, going to the bottom, or we're in the bottom of the fifth. Let's go down to Andre.
Zach McAllister's coming into the game, and guys, we know he started off, wanted to be in the starting rotation, but he told me yesterday he's getting more comfortable with this role, and he's liking it because he's able to find some of the pitches that he's best at. And coming into this appearance, he's got 10 consecutive innings, guys, of no-run baseball. He's only given up 4 hits over those 10 innings, 1 walk, 15 K. Only Bauer and Kluber have longer streaks this year without giving up a run than Zach McAllister as he gets ready to come in here now.
Yeah, I thought Zach found his role last year coming out of that bullpen. He was very good in it. I know everybody wants to be a starting pitcher, but boy, he settles in and he can come back. His velocity is much better coming out of the bullpen.
Kyle Blanks singled in the first, reached on an error in the third. Swung on and missed. Foul right back. High pop, foul, and that's going to get out of play. How many Larvell blanks would it take to make up one Kyle Blanks?
3. 3. Larvell Blanks, you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He could hit a little bit. But this guy's, what's he, about 6'7", 6'8"?
They list him at 6'6", but I think
bigger
that might
than that.
Be conservative. He drives this one to deep left center field, and back is Walters, and the left fielder will make the catch. And that's out number 2. Our AT&T Uverse Rewind. How about Ryan Webb coming out of the bullpen to help save the day so far here with 2 innings of no-hit relief. Struck out a couple.
Yeah, you see what kind of movement his pitches had. Had a good slider. That sinker was really going down. He was sharp. He was fresh. And Tito knew, he hit bell trade time to get him out of there. Getting tired.
Keith Moreland has struck out twice tonight. Since coming back from the DL, probably still trying to get his timing down. Good pitch. Good fastball over the inside corner.
Well, you go right down and in, and there it is. A little comeback to it inside corner. Very good pitch.
Oh, 0-2, the count on Moreland. And Moreland able to hold off.
Yeah, but you like that pitch. A breaking ball from McAllister. He has a chance to try and get him to chase it. He bounces it in the dirt. I like that.
And a foul back. That nailed Hayes. It appears to be okay.
Yeah, direct hit. Big E. He put the mask back on and just said, give me the ball. Let's go.
That's a foul ball.
Not by much. Not by much. This one was awfully close. There it is. You can see it landed about 6 to 8 inches to the right of that bag, but it came awfully close about going over it.
And the 1-2 is downstairs. Fouls that one away. Putting up a pretty good battle here.
How about that? It's reaction time. Goes down, bounces off him, and he catches it.
Swung out and missed. McAllister strikes him out. We've played 5 innings in Arlington. It's the Indians 5 and the Rangers 3. Five-3 Indians on top here as we roll on to the 6th inning.
Now let's take a look at our Tribe Rewards bonus points tonight. Nagy is the bonus code. Let's go to Indians.com. Big Chuck. Birthday earlier in the month.
Yeah, 10 days ago.
Yes, sir. 10 days ago. Cinco de Mayo.
Brett Hayes 0 for 2 on the day. He drives one to deep left field. Blanks back. Big as he is, he can't catch this one. Brett Hayes sends one out of here, his 3rd home run of the season. He has 2 career hits against Texas, both of them for home runs. And the Indians' lead is now 6-3.
Well, the first long ball for the Indians tonight, and he just missed one his last at bat. If you remember, he flew out to left field, but he didn't miss this one. He got it all middle in, and he turned on it. No, he makes it a 6-3 ball game. His 3rd homer.
Now Jose Ramirez steps in, 0 for 2 on the night. Breaking ball downstairs. The 1-1. Hit him, man. That one. Oh, Ramirez all barking now.
Well, why would he want to hit him? Just drop the bat and go to first base. Not intentional. When you're hitting 174, I don't think he wants you. He wants to hit you, put you on base. Right behind him, and it's in the numbers. It certainly looked like it, though, didn't it?
Second Indians batter hit tonight. 2 Texas batters have also been hit. I guess, Rick, there's always going to be suspicion when you get one behind you.
Yeah,
like
in the numbers, that certainly looked like it on that replay. You know, and when you're in the batter's box and you watch a pitcher deliver the baseball, it's almost like you can tell. You know.
And Jason Kipnis taking it's a strike. Kipnis 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored.
I'm thinking to myself, why would he hit Ramirez? Because Hayes hit a home run. He's the one that made the mistake. If you're Ramirez, get ready to take off, steal a base.
Kipnis with a 7-game hitting streak now.
There you go.
Oh, he bluffed a move instead of going. He had a good little bluff. I mean, the jump looked good.
And he had the right pitch to do it on. It looked like it was a changeup. He took a couple of strides and then just stopped. Unless he felt he didn't have a good enough jump. But go ahead and steal it, man. You got a 3-run lead. You're upset at the guy if he hits you. Make him pay.
Kipnis with another base hit, his 3rd of the game.
Oh,
Ramirez hits second with a full head of steam. He'll go to 3rd.
That's how you do it. How about Jason Kipnis? What's that, the 6th straight game he's reached base 3 times? I mean, this guy is non-stop. That's the first one tonight. That is the second one. And then his last at bat, and you know what? He was taken of a base hit by the second baseman on a pretty good play his second time up.
Yeah, it's a good point. It was in the hole, and Thomas Field went out onto the outfield grass to throw him out. So he's been on base safely at least 3 times in 6 straight games.
Yeah, you got to go back to Travis Fryman did it 6 times in 1999. How about that? 3 times in a game for 6 straight games. That's hard to do. That's being locked in. That's being as hot as you can be.
And especially in this day and age where you get the specialized relievers later in the game. You know, your 3rd, 4th times up.
Yeah, you're facing different guys a lot.
Well, here's Carlos Santana, who's 0 for 3 on the night.
I say add on. Keep going. Add on.
In the dirt. Left-hander up in the Texas bullpen. And Santana taking all the way, breaking the ball in for a strike. run in here in the 6th on the homer by Hayes. But since that home run, a hit batter, a base hit, so Indians at the corners, nobody out.
Certainly pays a lot of attention to runners on base. At first, anyway. Threw over there a couple times with Ramirez.
He wanted that call and he got it. 1-2. Santana not feeling the same way. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fujikawa, since coming in, has thrown 16 pitches, 8 balls, 8 strikes. Got him looking. First out of the inning, and Santana's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
And that's going to be all. Fujikawa. He wants the left-hander Freeman come in and face Michael Brantley.
So we have a timeout here in Arlington. The Indians swinging the bats pretty well here tonight, and the home run by Brett Hayes has the Tribe leading it 6-3 here in the 6th inning. Well, Jason Kipnis reaching base 3 times safely in 6 straight games. Fryman did it back in '99. Julio Franco.
How about Grover? 1981. 6 times, did it 3 times in the game. That away. And then you got to go back a ways. You start back into the 30s and the 20s.
Yeah, it went 50 years. Between Morgan and Hargrove there. Chris Speaker, outstanding player. Michael Brantley facing Sam Freeman, and he had to duck out of the way. That one, it's an attention getter, up and in.
Well, they've already had their fun one time in this inning, but that's right at the right shoulder of Brantley. He has to turn away from it.
Swung on and missed. Freeman elevated fastball. Eric Hosmer took him deep yesterday for Kansas City. That was Freeman's Rangers debut.
Well, and that's probably why his job is here to get up out left-handers. When one takes you deep and you're facing another good left-handed hitter here, you got to try and get your respect. Check it out. We'll look at it on our pitch tracks just off the outside. A couple times we've seen a couple out there, and Michael was the hitter both times.
Brantley drives one to right. Shoe got burned. He came in and it went back over his head. Ramirez scores. Kipnis screaming into third base. He'll stop there. It'll be a double and an RBI from Michael Brantley. His third hit of the night, as the Indians lead is now 7-3. Chu with a misjudgment. He thought this was a simple line drive.
Well, sometimes you get fooled with good hitters. That ball was down and he smoked it. And yeah, he can't catch up with it, and that's exactly what Brantley wanted to do after that first pitch. He doesn't. Got himself a breaking ball. That's his third hit of the night. Kipnis has 3. Swisher has 3.
Lonnie Chisenhall gets his first at bat of the night with the infield drawn in now. Remember, this was where it all came together for Lonnie Chisenhall a year ago. He had a game for the ages here in Arlington. 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Pops this one to left center. Should be deep enough. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, you got to go.
Kipnis tags. He's coming home. Blank's throw nowhere near the mark. Kipnis scores as Lonnie Chisenhall picks up the RBI. That'll be 15 for him. And Kipnis has scored 3 runs here tonight. Indians lead is now 8-3. It was June of a year ago. This was Lonnie Chisenhall's night.
Single, dinger. Yeah, what a night it was. 3 homers.
9 ribbies. Was it 5 hits in all?
Yes, 5 for 5. Absolutely. What a night. What a night to remember.
Well, he picks up a sac fly here in his first plate appearance. Now Nick Swisher, who's already 3 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in. That ball almost went to the backstop.
Well, the Indians offense, they mean business tonight. 11 hits. 5 of them extra base hits. They have the 4 double, a home run. And all this after they took the lead in the first inning, 2-0. Texas came right back, responded with a 3 spot in the first. And then the Ryan Rayburn play had turned this whole game around.
Now Swisher with a liner to second. It's caught by Field, and that'll end the inning. But another good inning for the Tribe offense. Brett Hayes goes deep. They tack on 2 more, lead it 8-3. Bottom of the 6th inning now. Zach McAllister got the final 2 outs of the 5th inning. He'll stay on the pitch here in the 6th. Upstairs, ball 1. Field grounded out in the first, was hit by a pitch his last time up. Attention getter. 3 balls had a strike. Full count. Wood right by him. Nice job by McAllister to come back and get the strikeout. 1 down here in the 6th inning. Let's go downstairs to Andre now. Andre, Ryan Rayburn coming out of the ball game. Anything to do with that collision with the wall in left field?
It may have. They kept him in for a couple innings, but he got checked out over his last at bat. They removed him for precautionary reasons. He's got a left knee contusion. He's still around here, but they just wanted to get him out to make sure that knee was okay.
All right, thanks, Andre. Carlos Corcoran fouls one back out of play. Going to make it to the seats down the left side. Too high from McAllister on a good fastball. Tigers have opened up a 5-0 lead over the Cardinals. They're in the 7th inning in St. Louis. White Sox lead the A's 2-0 in the first out in Oakland. That's out of play. Royals at home beating up the Yankees 6-1. Kansas City over New York in the 6th. Twins lead the Rays 3-2 in Minnesota. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Target Field. McAllister with a 1-2. And if you haven't heard by now, Atlanta beat Washington to close out the Wizards, and so it will be the Cavs and the Hawks for the right to go to the finals.
Yeah, and the Hawks have home court advantage.
Who do you like there, Dr. Jack?
Got to go Cavs, baby.
Strike 3 called. Corcoran will take the walk of shame back to the dugout. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Zach McAllister.
This will be our Circle K strikeout, and it is a nice little off-speed pitch by McAllister. Not the straight fastball. I don't know if that was his change or whatever, but he locked him up. 3 straight strikeouts. And 2nd out in the inning here.
Now Delano to Shields. Bunt single his first time up, grounded out in the 4th. Hopefully having a few days off will allow Kyrie Irving to rest up and heal that knee.
Yeah.
But what a game from Matthew Dellavedova last night.
Yeah, they played a great game last night. It was fun to watch. Rest up and got a lot more action coming.
Two balls and a strike. Right back to McAllister. Got by him. Kipnis off balance throw. Not in time.
That was DeShields running. It was a nice play. Yeah, it was a nice play. McAllister tried to reach back, but as he falls off the mound, he couldn't get his glove back. You know, and Kipnis did everything in his power. I mean, you see the hop. Once it lands for the second time with his speed, he's just too fast and beats it out. Infield single. He has two of them. His other one was a beautiful bunt single as well.
Now Shin-Soo Choo to the plate, 0 for 3 on the night. That's low ball 1. Right back. That is 1-1. In addition to his 14-game hitting streak, Choo leads all of Major League Baseball in the month of May with 12 extra base hits. And that was close, but a ball.
We've seen Choo enough times and watched him for a long time. When he's on his game, he's driving it to left center field, and he hit that ball in the second inning. Turning point of the game, hit it over there, and that means he's locked in when he has that swing.
Good fastball from McAllister, and Choo couldn't square it up. All he could do was foul it back. It's 2-2. His bullpen is quiet as McAllister had retired 4 straight before the bouncing ball infield single by DeShields. And a ground ball right at Kipnis. That ends the inning. 6 complete from Arlington. The Indians 8, the Rangers 3. McAllister giving the Tribe some solid relief. Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable. Tomorrow, 2 legendary fighters square off in a special 10 a.m. morning edition of UFC Fight Night. Former champ Frankie Edgar takes on the California Kid, Uriah Faber, for the first time. UFC Fight Night live from Manila tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The pitcher is Anthony Bass.
Bass, a guy that has allowed runs in 4 of his 7 outings. Allowing a home run in 3 of his last 4 games.
He's a guy that does the dirty work. Major League Baseball high 23 2/3 innings of relief work already.
Well, you get into games, you have to eat up innings, and sometimes they leave you out there, but you're still in the big leagues. You still get an opportunity. There's always guys around like this.
He logged a 5-inning relief appearance back in April. And Moss nailed himself on that foul ball.
Seen a number of those tonight. Go down into the feet of the hitters.
Moss. Wow. I mean, that you won't see a higher pop than that one. And a nice catch made by Field. That ball was up there forever. One away. Our in-game recap brought to you by Toyota Dealers. Fritz Fielder with a 2-run home run. It was a 3-run first for Texas as they took the lead. Zach Walters helped the Indians come back. They tied it to the 4th on that base hit. Nick Swisher put them ahead with a 2-run single in the 5th. And then they would add 3 more in the 6th on a solo homer by Brett Hayes. RBI double by Brantley and a sac fly by Lonnie Chisenhall. Walters 1 out of 3 tonight. With that RBI knocked back in the 4th, his first hit of the year. Now to play. The bat foul over there towards Mike Sarbaugh. Drives third base coach. Popped him up. Foul ground. And the catcher, Corcoran, makes the grab 2-down. Time now for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pawlowski.
Fire, huh? That's where the All-Star game is going to be at this year.
Smoking. Brett Hayes homered his last time up. He homered his last time up, but Rick, remember in the 4th inning, he hit that fly ball to left, and I said to you, boy, it looks like every ball hit in the air has a chance to get out of here. He must have just mishit that one barely, because the next time up he clobbered it. Checks his swing, and it's a roller back to the mound. And the Indians go 1-2-3. for only the second time tonight. Time now for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. The Indians lead it as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Before we do, let's go down to Andre Knott, who's got a little news about the game of golf.
Yes, earlier today during batting practice, both teams were able to see the trophy from the U.S. Open. They put it right behind home plate. And it was pretty interesting to see different guys come up and check it out, take pictures with it. Even Corey Kluber, who's got some nice hardware at home, as he has that Cy Young Award, he looked at it and couldn't help but stare inside of it. The U.S. Open trophy here today before the game between the Rangers and Indians. Very cool moment for the players and fans that were here.
We even saw our own Jim Murphy go down and take a picture down there of that trophy.
I thought he was just checking to see if his name was etched onto the side of the trophy.
He was looking.
Scott Atchison will pitch here in the bottom of the 7th, and Elvis Andrus takes a called strike. Chambers Bay, of course, will host this year's U.S. Open up there near Seattle.
And Jimmy did a show from up there, didn't he?
Jimmy
him and Carly.
Michael Bourne now into the ball game. He's in center field. And Michael Brantley goes over to his normal spot in left field. And Elvis Andrus will take a seat on the way. Rick, it all begins Thursday, June 18th. The American tradition comes to Fox and Fox Sports 1 for the first time as the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names into the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship live from Chambers Bay begins June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And now Prince Fielder is hit. And Joe West and Fielder share a moment. As Prince takes his base. That's the third Ranger hit tonight. 2 Indians have been plunked.
Yeah, I've never seen. Look at he never flinches. He's been hit. I've seen him hit a number of times, man. He just takes it and goes to first base.
Well, here's Adrian Beltre. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Beltre homered in the first as the Rangers came out swinging. Prince Fielder hit a 2-run shot. Beltre followed back-to-back, and it was 3-2 Texas after the Indians had scored 2 in the top of the first. And he just kind of had the look of, oh boy, it's going to be one of those days.
Yeah, I can't believe he even hit this pitch. That ball was over his helmet. He got a piece of it to follow it back just below us. And that home run he hit in the first was his 400th of his career.
And then, as we've pointed out several times tonight, back-to-back singles in the second inning by the 8 and 9 hitters, and it looked like the route was going to be on in a hurry. But Ryan Rayburn made the play of the night to thwart the rally, and then they got a double play turn to get out of the jam. And then the Indians, it's been all Tribe since then.
I knew we were going to get a back legger before long. He waits for that breaking ball, and I mean, he screws himself into the ground.
And finally, got a piece of that.
Sure he did.
Back. If
Watch.
it's anywhere
Look at
in the
it's
vicinity, he's getting after it.
I'm telling you, he's getting on the pitches that most people couldn't hit, couldn't foul off.
Then he'll take a pitch low, though.
Yeah, down and away. Unless it's inside, then he'll give you drop down on the back leg and take that big swing on the curveball. 2-2 count. See if he can bounce one. If he can hit a fastball up in his eyes, try and bounce one. Fouled that off.
Punched toward left center. Bourne's going to run it down. 2 away. It's one of those at bats that kind of went out with a whimper after everything that we saw.
Let's check it out. This is a good pitch by Atchison. He gets that breaking ball down and away. He had to reach for it. He couldn't get much on it, and Bourne has to run in to catch it. That was a pretty good at-bat by Beltre.
Kyle Blank's 1 for 3 tonight. Kipnis can't get to it. He dove. Ball might have jumped over his glove on the hop. Rangers have 2 on with 2 out.
Well, the big guy, you know, this we said this is a fast infield. Even though it's been raining here a lot, this ball can scoop through here pretty well. Just gets under the glove, but remember that's a big man that hit the ball, so it's got some top spin on it as it gets by him. So Hayes walks out and talks to Atchison before he has to face Moreland. Here with 2 out, bottom half of the 7th.
Mitch Moreland has struck out all 3 times tonight. That's the one
Nothing
pitch
on
that
the
Joe
inside.
West is not given to them.
Nothing on the inside part of the plate. He's given a little off the outside edge, but he's not calling anything on the inside part.
Chris Fielder, who was hit by a pitch, hit second base. Popped him up. Out goes Ramirez. Calling for it, now called off. Brantley says, out of my way, I'll take it. Inning over. We go to the 8th. 8-3 Cleveland. Presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care, is coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Al and Jensen will be live from the corner at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland. On location piece tonight, huh?
Are they? What how it's doing there tonight? Cool, warm? What is it?
My wife told me it was 77 degrees
nice.
Earlier this afternoon. So just as soon as we left town, it warmed up.
We had a great weekend, though.
Jose Ramirez hit by a pitch, but came around to score in the 6th. And he rolls one to second. 1 down. Just like we promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Abbott and Costello, Hall and Oates, Tom and Jerry, Starsky and Hutch. Whatever duo that you can think of, Kipnis and Brantley have been all that and more for the Tribe this year. These two guys have been outstanding at the top of the order.
Yeah, they've had a great night. Kipnis 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Brantley 3 hits, got a couple runs scored, a couple of ribbies, stolen base.
Torres. Good pitch down and in by Bass.
That was a nice slider.
Back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. And he's got his 4th hit of the ball game.
On a 1-2 pitch.
Kipnis smacks it right back up the gut.
I'll tell you what, he's up to 333 now, Matt, and that was a little mistake pitch. You make a mistake, he's going to hurt you now, as hot as he is.
Well, we'll have to see what everybody else in the top 10 did tonight. But there's a chance when we wake up tomorrow, Jason Kipnis' name will be in the top 10 in batting average in the American League now.
Boy, you talk about hot. He's hotter than hot.
He started the night at 316, and as you pointed out, he's now 333. Brantley started the night 9th in the American League in batting average, and he has 3 hits. He's bumped his mark up to 349, which could put him as high as 2nd. Santana rolls one to second. And it's going to be an inning-ending double play. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-3 Cleveland. It's an 8-3 Indians lead as we go down to the bottom of the 8th in our Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game. Ryan Rayburn running headlong into the fence in left center field.
Ran through the stop sign, and then he comes up. That was the first out. They tagged up. He makes the pitch. They get an inning-ending double play and a 0 on the board. So I'll tell you, that was a turning point for me. Because then the offense kicked in gear and they've been scoring ever since. And then the bullpen's done a heck of a job too.
It's one of those plays, you know, sometimes we talk about in a ball game, you look back and say, boy, what if they'd have made that play? How would that have changed? Well, here's a case in point where he did make the play.
And look what happened the rest of the way.
Yeah.
It really, it turned them.
They haven't scored. For one thing, Texas.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The bullpen, they had to come out in the 3rd inning. They did a tremendous job after that 0 in the 2nd. And it's been 0s ever since, and their offense has gone crazy. They've scored in 4 innings. with 3 of them crooked numbers.
Thomas Field 0 for 2, hit by a pitch back in the third. So Shaw working against the bottom third of this Texas lineup. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Shaw strikes him out. 1 down in the 8th. Zach McAllister went an inning and 2/3 out of the pen.
Struck out 3 straight at one point in his outing, and he's just going to increase that to what, 11 1/3 innings now of zeros. Yeah, Zach got a nice job. The whole bullpen. Webb, McAllister, Hatch gave up a single, put a 0 on the board. Now Shaw's turn.
Webb pitched 2 scoreless innings, but that's a little misleading if you just look at it, because he came in the 3rd, finished that inning, pitched the 4th, and started the 5th and got the 1st out of that inning. So he helped bridge from the start of Chen to McAllister. And Santana, after bobbling it, makes a good pitch to Shaw for out number 2.
Watch this work. Kipnis, you know, that's it. It wasn't hit all that hard. He just didn't catch it clean. He still had time to recover.
And so with 2 down, Delino to Shields to the plate. He has 2 hits tonight. Bunt single and an infield hit in the 6th inning that was a chopper that got by the mound, and once it did, his speed enabled him to beat it out. I know we've seen him in the past, but boy, his speed really impressive here tonight.
Well, you get the speed and a guy that can bunt a little bit, and you get him down at the bottom part of the lineup. And you've got a good leadoff man. And Chu, now that he's been in a groove with his hitting streak, he's going to have one more crack at it to keep it going. But, you know, it's like your second leadoff.
Yeah.
You get a guy on, and he can make it aggressive, be aggressive.
Shaw throwing strikes, gets ahead of him 1-2.
See, DeShields is playing center because Leonis Martin is out.
Yeah.
You know, and he's their #1 center fielder.
Yeah, Martin's only played in 4 of the last 10 games. Missed 4 in a row.
Yeah, he had a cortisone shot in that hand, and you know he may be out another week or so. He says he won't be, but you know that's the player talking.
Santana makes the grab. Rangers go 1-2-3 for the 2nd time tonight. Furniture score some runs. Well, boy, have they ever. 8 runs tonight for the Indians. And they've done it on a dozen hits. And as we go now to the 9th inning, we get another pitcher for Texas, Keone Kela. He allowed a run on Monday against Kansas City, and that was the first run he had allowed since April 24th. 1.08 ERA in his last 8 games. Opposition just 2 for their last 20 against him. Michael Brantley, 3 hits tonight.
He may be a little upset. Kipnis has 4. He wants to get up there with him. The dynamic duo. Oh, that one there, it just happened to go into the glove. It looked like he was bailing.
Kela's 21 years old. And breaking the ball down and in. Checked his swing and was a little bit outside. He did not go. Kela was born in Los Angeles, but makes his home in Seattle. He went to Everett Community College in Washington. He was a fire science major. And he was drafted by the Mariners in the 29th round out of high school, and he said no.
Huh. Oh boy, huh?
Yeah, he said no to his hometown club. And then, wisely, he went from the 29th round to a 12th round pick the next year by the Rangers. So got a pretty good arm at 96 miles an hour, but he walks Brantley. So he's been on base safely all 5 times tonight. As you take a look at the Indians in-game box score.
Yeah, it's been a hit party, especially for Kipnis, Brantley, and Swisher.
And even the guys at the bottom, Walters with his first hit of the year, knocked in a run.
Yeah.
Hayes
with
another home run. Lonnie Chisenhall, his second trip to the plate, he drove in a run with a sac fly his first time up in the 6th. He didn't start tonight with the left-hander on the mound. He came into the game after the Indians took out Ryan Rayburn for precautionary reasons. Rayburn slammed into the wall in left field, making that great catch. Dinged his knee up a little bit, so I want to make sure he's okay.
Right into the cap. Oh, that's the helmet. That was
He broke it.
Oh, nice. He had the hat in there, too. That's what saved him. I think in that hat, though, came a boatload of nachos before the game started.
He's a foul ball on the left side. That was, when I was a kid, when I went to games when I was a kid, that was the coolest thing in the world to be able to get one of those plastic batting helmets.
Yeah.
Because then you could go in the backyard playing wiffle ball and feel like you were a big leaguer.
Big leaguer. That's right. And they didn't have ear flaps out of mind. That's the way they were.
That's right.
They were nice helmets like that.
When did the ear flaps start coming around?
Matt, that's a good question. I don't know. I never wore one in my day. My last year was '87, but they came out before that.
Boy, Lonnie Chisenhall driving one to deep center, but it dies shy of the track where the Shields grabs it for round number 1. So you never wore one throughout your entire career?
Right. A lot of guys, they didn't like it because they could see just a little bit of the edge coming out of it.
Yeah.
Some guys wanted it for the protection. I felt I was quick enough on my feet. I'd get out of the way before it hit me in the head.
Well, I guess the thing I remember most about those styles of helmets is when you guys would run the bases,
they'd fly off.
Sure,
yeah. That's fun. Yeah, now the kids come up, you have double air flaps, you know, instead of the one.
In fact, I'm not so sure. Is it all the minor leaguers have to wear double?
Yeah, I believe so, yes. Yeah, anybody nowadays, the minor leaguers have to. When you come up, you have to wear them.
Blowing away. Shoe's one of the only guys in the big leagues, I think, now that wears the double flaps. But I can take it.
Yeah, he's always.
Yeah.
He is always wearing that.
You know, I just was thinking, I think Delino DeShield's dad wore double flaps too.
Switch hitter? Was he a switch hitter?
I think he might have been. Yeah, maybe that's why. Didn't need two helmets that way. 3-0 pitch, Swish taking all the way. It's ball 4. So he's reached safely 4 times tonight. 2 walks in the inning. And out comes the pitching coach. Talk to Keone Keller. Hawkins filling in for Greg Maddux, or Mike Maddux, excuse me.
That's not what you want to see, is when you bring a guy into an 8-3 game to get some work in there. He's having a tough time throwing strikes. They got to get somebody up in the bullpen.
Brandon Moss broke his bat. Goes to second. There's one. Back to first. Double play. So that ends the top half of the ninth. 8-3 Indians. For Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It is coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio with Al and Jensen. Here in Arlington, the Indians trying to close out the Rangers. They lead at 8-3.
Allen coming on for the 14th time. He'll get in the top of the lineup. Chu Andrus, fielder. Chu one last chance to try and keep his 14-game hitting streak going. He is 0 for 4. Three ground outs to second base, and then the great play by Ryan Rayburn in left center field.
Up high. I did a quick check while we were at break there, Rick. 1983 was the year that Major League Baseball made it mandatory for new players to wear ear flap.
Okay. 1983. All right.
So you didn't have to because you were grandfathered in.
Right.
But any new player who came up in 1983 or after had to wear at least an ear flap on one side when they went to the plate. And then the double flap thing is
That's good
up
to
to
know.
them.
I never knew that really when they started it.
This was an interesting note. It says that Tim Raines was the last player to play and who was grandfathered in. He was the last guy playing
without an ear flap.
And he was in 02 when he was finishing up his career. He played a long time.
Yeah, he did. He was a great player.
Chu pops it up, back out of play. You may also remember guys like Gary Gaetti, Ozzie Smith, Tim Wallach. They played into the 90s, and they all wore the flapless style helmet.
Yeah.
Julio Franco. Swing and a miss. Chu goes down swinging. Looks like his 14-game hitting streak comes to an end here tonight.
On the hooky right there. Not a good swing there by Chu. Cody gets the strikeout.
He's 0 for 5.
You know, it's funny because Franco must have just came up in 82 because he came over to Cleveland in 83. So he must have been up there about a year with Philadelphia before he came over to Cleveland. So he was eligible to wear that then.
Oh, here's what it says, Rick, and I just didn't read the fine print. Franco was the last active player eligible to wear a helmet without flaps, but he chose to wear with the ear flap.
Isn't he a player manager now somewhere overseas? He's probably still wearing a no ear flap. Still playing, for goodness sakes.
He stopped aging at some point. Elvis Andrus, a base hit back in the first inning, struck out his last 2 times up. So the breaking ball outside. And a fastball right in on his hands, fouled back out of play. (8-3), the Indians in command. They
looking to win their second
series opener.
Yeah, second series opener of the year. The other one was in Detroit on a Friday night. 13-run game. This one, Friday night, they have 8 on the board, and they've had a good night offensively. Not a good start for a pitcher compared to the ones they've been getting the last 5. But, you know, any way to get it, you get the win.
Well, you and I talked about it. Coming into this series, you look, Texas, their pitching's a little bit suspect right now with all the injuries they've had, but still a good hitting ball club. So to win here, you're going to have to score runs here. Well, that's what they did. They went out and they outscored them tonight. Simply.
Yes, they did. And they had an answer for them in the first.
And their bullpen's been dynamite. 3-2 pitch. Side ball 4. Up comes Prince Fielder. Two-run homer in the first. He's flied out twice since then and was hit by a pitch his last time up. Up and away with a fastball, and out goes Brett Hayes. Fritz Fielder wore number 28 with the Milwaukee Brewers and the Detroit Tigers, but when he came here to Texas, he said, I don't know, I was born in 1984 and it's just fresh. Something new.
Fresh.
But he's got 84, and then Kyle Blanks wears 88. You got a couple of wide receivers in the lineup.
Yeah, and who was it? Freeman at 71.
Yeah, well, a lot of pitchers end up with high digit numbers. Two-one pitch hit toward the gap in left center. And Michael Brantley cruises over to make the catch, 2 down. Well, back in the first inning, Fritz Fielder hit a 2-run homer. Next man up, Adrian Beltre, gave him the lead, but more importantly for Beltre, the 400th home run of his career.
Yeah, he's been a good player for a long time. He can do just about anything he wants on a baseball field. Good player.
That's what I like about Beltre, is that he's far from one-dimensional. I mean, we've seen him make some sick plays defensively at third over the years.
Yeah, he's a tremendous player, and he loves to play the game. This guy's a treat to watch. He never complains. He says, they pay me to play every day. I'm playing.
Cody Allen 1 out away from nailing it down here in Texas. And Beltre pops it up. Center fielder Michael Bourne makes the catch, and for only the second time this year, the Indians win a series opener as they trounce Texas tonight by a final score of 8-3. Ryan Webb comes